I had heard stories about the old house on the hill since I was a child. Everyone in town knew it. No one talked about it openly, but everyone avoided it. From the main road, you could see it standing alone at the top of the hill, its silhouette cutting into the sky like a broken tooth. During the day, it looked abandoned. At night, it looked awake. They said the house had been empty for over 40 years. They also said that wasn't true. When I was younger, I believed the rumors were just meant to scare kids into behaving. You know how small towns are, stories get passed down. Twisted, exaggerated. But as I grew older, I noticed something that bothered me. No matter how drunk someone was. No matter how brave they claimed to be. No one ever went near that house after sunset. Not once. The hill itself was strange. Trees grew crooked there, their branches bent inward, as if they were trying to escape something above them. Birds never nested near the house. Dogs refused to walk in that direction. Even the wind seemed to slow down as it climbed the hill, like it didn't want to go any farther. Still. Curiosity is a dangerous thing. And curiosity was what pulled me up that hill on a cold October evening. It started with a letter. No return address. No stamp. Just my name written on the front in shaky, uneven handwriting. Inside was a single sentence. It's time you know what really happened in the house on the hill. At the bottom, there was a date. That date was tonight. I tried to laugh it off. I told myself it was a prank, but something about the letter felt wrong. The paper smelled old, like dust and mold, and when I touched it, my fingers felt cold, as if the letter had been kept somewhere dark for a very long time. I didn't tell anyone. That was my first mistake. By the time the sun dipped below the trees, the hill was already swallowed by shadow. Fog rolled in thick and low, clinging to the ground like it was alive. With every step I took, my chest felt tighter. The closer I got, the quieter the world became. No insects, no birds, no distant traffic, just my footsteps. And something else, a sound I couldn't explain. It was faint, almost like breathing. When I finally reached the front gate, I stopped. The gate was open. Rust covered the iron bars, but the hinges looked freshly disturbed, as if someone or something had passed through recently. I raised my flashlight and aimed it toward the house. That's when I saw the windows. Some were broken. Some were boarded up. And one, just one, had a faint yellow glow behind it. Someone was inside, or at least, something was. I should have turned back. Every instinct in my body screamed at me to run, but the letter echoed in my mind. It's time you know. The front door creaked as I pushed it open. The sound was loud, too loud, like the house wanted me to know I had crossed a line. The smell hit me instantly. Rot, damp wood, and something metallic. Inside, the air felt thick, heavy, like it was pressing down on my lungs. Dust coated every surface, yet the floor near the entrance was disturbed. Footprints, they weren't mine. They led deeper into the house. The flashlight beam shook as I followed them down a narrow hallway. Old portraits lined the walls' faces. Frozen in time, their eyes dark and hollow. I couldn't shake the feeling that they were watching me. Then I heard it. A whisper. Not loud enough to understand, but close enough to feel. It came from upstairs. Each step up the staircase groaned under my weight, as if the house was protesting my presence. Halfway up, the temperature dropped so suddenly that my breath turned white. Asterisk at the top of the stairs. The hallway stretched out in front of me, doors lining both sides. Asterisk, and at the very end, the glowing window. The door was slightly open. Asterisk, I reached out and pushed it wider. Asterisk, the room was empty. No furniture. No dust. Asterisk, just clean wooden floors and bare walls. Asterisk, except for the mirror. Asterisk, it stood against the far wall. It's all cracked. Its surface darkened with age. I didn't remember hearing anything about a mirror in the house. Asterisk, as I stepped closer. My reflection came into view, but it wasn't moving the way it should. My reflection smiled. I didn't then. It spoke. Asterisk in my voice. Asterisk, 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 you shouldn't have come alone. Asterisk, 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 the lights went out. Total darkness. The whispering returned louder now, coming from all directions at once. I felt hands brushing past me, cold fingers grazing my arms, my neck, my face, and then the mirror shattered. The sound echoed through the house like a scream. Asterisk, when the flashlight flickered back on. The room was gone. I wasn't in the house anymore. I was somewhere else. A long hallway, dimly lit by flickering candles. The walls were covered in names. Hundreds of them. Some scratched, some carved, some written in what looked like dried blood. At the end of the hallway, I saw a door. Asterisk, and on it, my name. That's when I realized the truth. The house on the hill didn't hide a dark secret. It collected them. Asterisk, and now, asterisk, it had collected me. All right? Stay with me, asterisk. Here's part 2. Same narrator. Same slow burn pacing. This section adds another approximately 12 to 15 minutes when read calmly. I don't know how long I stood there, staring at my name carved into the door. Asterisk minutes. Maybe hours. Asterisk, the candles along the hallway flickered violently, as if reacting to my fear. Shadows crawled across the walls, stretching unnaturally long, twisting into shapes that almost looked human. Almost. My name began to drip. Not ink, not paint. Blood. It slid slowly down the wood of the door, pooling at the bottom like the house itself was bleeding. I reached for the handle. The moment my fingers touched it, a sharp pain shot through my arm. Images flooded my mind, memories that weren't mine. Asterisk, a family arriving at the house decades ago. A smiling man holding keys. A woman gripping her child's hand too tightly. Asterisk, hope. Excitement. And then fear. So much fear. The door creaked, open on its own. Inside was a bedroom, old-fashioned, dusty. A single bed pushed against the wall. A wardrobe stood open, its door hanging crooked on broken hinges. The air smelled stronger iron and decay. Asterisk, and then I noticed the marks on the walls. Tall ones, short ones. Asterisk, scratches. Deep and desperate. People hadn't lived here. They had been trapped. Suddenly, the whispering stopped. The silence was worse. Asterisk, behind me. The hallway candles went out one by one until the room was lit only by the faint glow of moonlight from the window. Asterisk. When I saw her, asterisk, she stood beside the bed. Asterisk, pale. Too pale. Her eyes were sunken. Her mouth stretched into a smile that didn't belong on a human face. Asterisk, I was wondering when you'd arrive, she said, Her voice sounded like dry leaves scraping against stone. I tried to speak, but my throat refused to work. She stepped closer. "I'm the caretaker," she continued. "Or at least, I was." She told me the story. The house wasn't built on cursed land. Asterisk, it was built to contain something. Asterisk, long ago, people began to disappear in the area, entire families, gone without a trace. A group of men believed something ancient lived beneath the hill. Something that fed on fear, regret, and unfinished lives. They built the house as a cage, but cages need guards. Asterisk, the caretaker was chosen to keep the entity fed. Controlled? At first, it was strangers, then travelers, then neighbors. Over time, the caretaker became part of the house. Asterisk, and when she tried to leave, the house chose another. Her eyes locked onto mine. "You?" she whispered. The walls began to pulse like a living heartbeat. The floor trembled. From beneath the house, I heard something massive shift. Something waking up. I ran asterisk down the hallway, through doors that led nowhere, staircases that looped back on themselves. The house was changing, rearranging itself to keep me inside. Asterisk's voices echoed around me, begging, crying, screaming. Faces appeared in the walls, mouths opening wide as if trying to escape. Hands reached out, fingers stretching impossibly long. Asterisk, help us, they whispered. I burst into what looked like the basement. The smell was unbearable. Asterisk, chains hung from the ceiling. The floor was carved with symbols, old ones, etched deep into stone. In the center was a pit. Asterisk, and inside the pit, darkness. Not empty darkness. Moving darkness. It breathed. Asterisk, a voice rose from it, low and powerful. Asterisk, 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 you came willingly. Asterisk, 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 I felt my knees buckle. Asterisk, you carry curiosity, the voice continued. Guilt, fear. You are full. The caretaker appeared beside me again. It's hungry, she said softly. And when it feeds, I'll finally be free. Asterisk, the chains rattled as the darkness rose higher, stretching upward like smoke trying to form a body. Asterisk, I understood then. Every story, every warning, every disappearance. The house wasn't haunted. It was a mouth, and it was about to swallow me whole. Asterisk. Asterisk, the darkness rose higher from the pit, stretching and folding in on itself, trying to become something solid. The air felt thick, heavy with pressure, like my ears were about to burst. I couldn't move. Fear pinned me in place. Asterisk, the caretaker watched calmly, almost peacefully, as if she had already accepted what was about to happen. Asterisk, you don't understand, I said, forcing the words out. There has to be another way. She tilted her head, studying me. There was? She replied. Once. But the house doesn't like empty spaces. The darkness surged forward. At the last second, something caught my eye, symbols carved into the floor near the pit. They were old, but not all of them were the same age. Some were fresh, recently carved. Asterisk, who made these? I asked. Asterisk, her. Smile faltered. Asterisk, the others, she said slowly. The ones who fought. Hope sparked in my chest. I dropped to my knees and began tracing the symbols with my fingers. The moment I touched them, the whispering returned, but this time, it wasn't begging. It was guiding me. The voices overlapped, forming words. Asterisk, asterisk, finish it. Seal it. Don't let it choose again. Asterisk, asterisk. The house shook violently. Cracks spread across the walls as the darkness roared in anger. Asterisk, 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 stop. Asterisk, asterisk, the voice boomed from the pit. Asterisk, asterisk, you belong to me. Asterisk, 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 I understood then. The house didn't just feed on fear, it fed on choice. Every person who entered willingly gave it power. I grabbed one of the broken chains from the floor and dragged it across the symbols, carving deeper, finishing the pattern the others never could. The caretaker screamed, "No, you don't know what you're doing." But I did. The symbols weren't meant to trap the creature. Asterisk, they were meant to bind the caretaker to the house forever. Asterisk, the darkness shrieked as the pit began to collapse inward. Shadows were sucked back down, screaming voices echoing as the house fought to stay alive. Asterisk, the caretaker stumbled backward, herd form flickering half human, half shadow. Asterisk, you can't leave me here, she begged. Her eyes met mine. For the first time, she looked afraid. The house made its choice. The floor beneath her cracked open, and black tendrils wrapped around her ankles, dragging her toward the pit. Asterisk, as she was pulled down, she reached for me. "I just wanted it to end," she cried. "It will," I said softly. The pit sealed shut with a thunderous crack. Silence followed. Asterisk. The house went still. Asterisk, dust fell from the ceiling. The air grew warmer, lighter. Asterisk, for the first time since I arrived, I could breathe. Asterisk, a door appeared at the far end of the basement, one I hadn't seen before. Sunlight spilled through the cracks. I didn't hesitate. I ran. Asterisk, I woke up at the bottom of the hill. Asterisk, morning light filtered through the trees. Birds chirped. The world felt normal. Painfully normal. The house was still there, but it looked different. Asterisk. Smaller, older, empty. Weeks passed. No more whispers. No more disappearances. No more nightmares. I told myself it was over. Until yesterday. A letter arrived. No return address. Asterisk, no. Stamped. Asterisk, inside was a single sentence. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. The house is hungry again. Asterisk, 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 and beneath it, my handwriting. All right. This is it. I stared at the letter for a long time. My hands were shaking. Asterisk, I knew my handwriting. Every curve, every uneven line. And yet, I had no memory of writing those words. Asterisk, 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 the house is hungry again. Asterisk, 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 that night, I dreamed of the hill. But the house wasn't empty anymore. Lights glowed in every window. Asterisk, I saw people walking inside, laughing, living, as if nothing had ever happened there. As if the house had simply waited. I woke up with dirt under my fingernails and mud on my shoes. Asterisk, I hadn't gone near the hill in weeks. Asterisk. Or so I thought. I started noticing gaps in my memory. Hours missing. Entire nights gone. Sometimes I'd wake up standing in my kitchen, holding my car keys. Other times, I'd find scratches on my arms deep. Familiar ones. The same kind I had seen on the walls of the house. Then the dreams changed. Asterisk, I was no longer running. Asterisk, I was walking people inside, showing them the rooms, reassuring them, telling them it was safe. And every time, the house felt warmer, happier. I went back to the hill at sunrise. I Needed proof. I needed to know I wasn't losing my mind. The front gate stood open. Asterisks fresh. Footprints led inside. Mine. The mirror was back. Unbroken. Clean. Asterisks when I stepped. In front of it, my reflection smiled again. Asterisk, but this time, I smiled too. The whisper came from my own mouth. Asterisk, 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 it needs to feed. Asterisk, 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 that's when I understood the final truth. The caretaker was never meant to be destroyed, only replaced. Asterisk, the house didn't want a prisoner. It wanted a partner. Someone who could leave. Asterisk, bring others back, and keep the hunger satisfied. The symbols hadn't saved me. They had marked me. I write this now because I don't know how much time I have left, how long before the house takes full control. Asterisk, if you're listening to this. Asterisk, if you've ever felt curious about abandoned places. Asterisk, if you've ever wanted to know what secrets old houses hide. Don't come looking, because the old house on the hill doesn't chase people. It waits, and sooner or later, asterisk, it teaches someone how to open the door from the inside, and asterisk,